herbalism. I get so many questions about being herbalist in the United States. Well, in actuality, an herbalist is anybody who studies herbs, okay? Or as you British people say, herbs. You don't say the H, right? So, herbology, herbalist. Is there a federal herbalist in the United States? No, there's not. You can go to some colleges, and you can get associate's degrees and bachelor's degrees and things like that, but there is no federal law, like being a doctor and being federal and stuff like that, for herbalists in the United States. Now, over in Europe, they do have that. We have never gotten to that point and have that here in the U.S. So, if you study herbs, and I've had a lot of questions because I just made a short video earlier of herbs and things like that. Do you have, herbalists nationwide? No, not really. You have different herb schools, and a lot of them are very, very good. Very good. A lot of them are very good herbalist schools, and a lot of people and teachers. I mean, like if Susan Weed would take you for for a pupil, if Arthur Haynes would teach you some classes, if out in California, I'm trying to think of Chris Nigis would take you and teach you classes. These are people just off the top of my head that are wonderful. They're absolutely great herbal teacher people that would be able to teach you not only wild edibles but medicinals and things like that. So I wanted to hear your opinion on these different things. I'm in the kitchen right now doing a little cooking. Sorry about the way I look because I really don't care, and we're just kind of doing our thing out here. You know what I mean? So on herbs and different herbalists, I would like to make some. I do shorts on herbs and stuff all the time. I would like to do some longer videos if you're interested, where I pick one plant and talk about it. So if I were to take like, I don't know, this would be this I picked earlier today. This is actually a field garlic. If I were to break down the different ways to eat the field garlic, and I would go into the medicinal, and you can eat every bit of this from the roots all the way to the end. I would like to start doing some videos on those and see who's interested in getting different videos on wild medicinals and wild edibles. So if you're interested in that, give me a thumbs up. If you're interested in these kind of things, you can always subscribe to my channel. There's a lot of people that are involved with me, which used to be aroundthecabin.com, but now I'm just doing it all on my own. And I would like to go back into the medicinal stuff and other teachings, things that you may be interested in, since I did survival and bushcraft classes and other stuff for so long, for so many years. As myself personally, no longer performing, no longer going to the shows. I'm not there with everybody at the expos and stuff like that anymore. I don't really run the business anymore. Around the Cabin has dissipated. My partner passed away at the beginning of this year. I lost another partner a couple years ago. And we've all just kind of went our own way, and we've all gotten older. Frankly, we've gotten older. Look at me. I'm over 60 now. And I would like to pass these knowledge along to you people if you're interested in that. And do different things that may interest you, of why you use it, what you use it, and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about starting to do videos on those kind of things. Want to know if you're interested in that kind of thing. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, whatever you want to do there, or do nothing. I don't care. I don't care if you watch the things or not, because I'm not monetized. I'm not trying to get money from any of you people. I'm just on here putting out knowledge. So as far as the federal funded herbalist goes, there is no herbal doctor that you can go to that is nationwide. But like I said, some colleges and some specialty schools will give you an accredited course, and some of those you can use other places, some of you can't, but those courses are better than nothing. If you want to be an herbalist, you get a book and you start studying herbs. I don't care if it's the herbs in your kitchen, where I'm standing now, or if it's the herbs that you're picking wild from outside. Hello. What's up, old folks? I'm just blabbing away while I'm in the kitchen tonight. Talking about herbs, talking about medicinal herbs and especially herbal schools tonight. So The herbal schools in the United States are not the same as the herbal schools in Europe or the UK or anywhere over there. They are actually funded by their governments and done different stuff and accredited. So you can actually be a doctor of herbology, I guess, over in Europe. I don't know the exact term for it over there, but we don't have that in the United States. I would like to see that in the United States because I would like to get back to, if you go buy an aspirin, most of the time the aspirin has nothing natural in it. All the aspirin is made from chemicals. What they did is the old willow used to be, that's where they got aspirin from, the old willows. You take a willow and you peel off the outer bark and you'd chew on the inner bark, or you'd make a tea out of the inner bark or a tincture out of the inner bark. And you could use those things as aspirin, okay? That's what originally aspirin was. Now they have taken that and they removed all the willows, because you don't see anybody growing whole groves of willows anymore just to make aspirin. They don't do that. They have chemically broke it down and said, well, we can synthetically make this and make this and make this, and that's what they've done, and that's what the aspirin is you take. And that's just an aspirin, not going with the other stuff. You're feeling lonely in life, Grandpa. No, not really, but I'm just trying to put this stuff out there. So I do lots of funny videos and other stuff also. Putting these things out there for you is to think about. Now, I don't know what kind of medication you take. Doctor gives you a medicine, you take that medicine, but do you know what's in that medicine? So like right now in the United States, there's two different vitamin E's. There's a vitamin E that you swallow, and there's a vitamin E that you put on your skin. Let's think about that. Now, seriously, even though you're jerking me around and other stuff in the chat room, I don't really care. If you think about this, logically, you think about this. Why would I eat one vitamin E and only put one vitamin E on my skin when your skin is technically your largest organ? And a lot of stuff gets absorbed through your skin into your bloodstream. Why wouldn't you just take the vitamin C that you can eat and rub that on your skin too? Why do they have two different vitamin E's? It doesn't make any sense. See, because there's chemically made stuff that's not natural in this world. So if you take the vitamin E that goes on your skin and you eat it, does it make it bad for you? Why would they have two different vitamin E's? I don't know. I don't understand that. So like I said, with the aspirin, with the vitamin E's, those are just two examples out there. So I'm going to get back to teaching things that you can eat, things you can do, and medicinal values on them. Here is a piece, let's see if I can get this up close to the camera, of a prickly lettuce. This is a prickly lettuce. I live in Kentucky. This is a prickly lettuce leaf. It is also sometimes called, are you ready for this? And the reason I got it, opium lettuce. Okay, opium lettuce. So with the opium lettuce, you can tear it down and make it just like opium. It's a very mild form of that stuff, but it's something to think about. You can use that as opium, and it grows legal in the United States. You don't get it from a poppy, you get it from a leaf. It comes from a plant that grows that everybody calls a weed. And if you want to look that up, it's called prickly lettuce. Okay? Prickly lettuce. You can see because on the rib on the back, got little prickles on it, little sticky things. They don't normally hurt you until they get older and bigger and stuff like that. So you dry this up and you could smoke this. You could dry this up and you can make a tincture with it. You can use it fresh and make a tincture. You can make a tea. You can eat it raw in a salad. I would take a knife and slice off all the prickly stuff. I wouldn't want to eat those. But you can do that with prickly lettuce, which is, just as its name says, a natural lettuce, and you can eat that, but it also has medicinal values. And I would go more with a different video into the medicinal values if everybody's interested in that. So you would get these benefits from these plants as opposed to getting the stuff by going to the store and buying it and whatnot. So there's dual purposes on that. So what does prickly lettuce do for you? Somebody's going to say, okay, Grandpa, you smoked it. What are you going to do with it? Well, it is a mild sedative. It helps with upset stomach. It helps with digestion. It is nutrient rich if you eat it. So it is a lettuce, and you get probably better nutrients from a prickly lettuce that has not been bred out like a head of iceberg lettuce, which basically has nothing in it, really doesn't. Iceberg lettuce is like the worst lettuce you could ever eat. Those things you could do with a prickly lettuce. They're better for you. There's different lettuces that grow throughout the United States. And since I'm here in Kentucky, I talk about the United States instead of other places. Thinking about doing other shows and shorts. I mean, I've got some videos up on different shorts that I've got and comments and things like that. So if you're interested in those things while I'm cooking here, I'm talking to you all while I'm cooking, wasting time and bull crapping with you all. I hope everybody's having a good night. Hope you're all doing great. It is about 7:15 here in the eastern part of the United States. I hope you all are having a great day, as I always hope. I'm cooking some chicken and garlic and chicken with garlic and onions and lemon. And I'm going to put that, I'm going to have that piece of chicken or pieces of chicken. I'm doing chicken thighs and I'm going to mix that with some spaghetti later on. And I'll make a sauce, probably a cream sauce to go over that. That's what we're having probably later for dinner, later tonight or tomorrow, because I don't feel like cooking for tomorrow. So the thing with the schools is you need to find a good, reputable school. Either you can go to the ones online or you can go to in-class, which I would suggest is the best to go in-class and get hands-on training with somebody. Some of my favorite people, like I said, is Arthur Haynes and Susan Weed, and you can look those people up. Arthur Haynes is up toward Maine and Michigan. I think he's in Michigan, actually. And then Chris Nigis out in California. Dave Canterbury in Ohio. Let's see, there's a lot of good people out there, a lot of survivalists, survival instructors that also know medicinal things. Craig Caudill in Kentucky. Him and his wife are awesome, just totally awesome on medicinal and edible wilds, especially his wife even better than Craig. They know a lot of stuff. But if you're interested, get a book, start reading, start looking on the internet, start following on YouTube and checking out some of these people. Some of the books have wrong information. I have found that over the years, though. The picture is wrong. And they tell you some stuff that's not quite right. And unfortunately, with a lot of old survival books, once somebody puts it in a book, other people just recopy it. They just recopy it and keep sending it out there. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. The wild edible test, where you would take a piece and put it on your lip and rub it and see if anything happens, and put it in your arm and rub it and see if anything happens. Bad. Don't do that. Don't do that test. Some things that you touch just in the woods, you will touch them and they will give you blisters. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Giant hogweed. Love to have the kids stand next to the giant hogweed, grab that giant stem of the hogweed plant, and show off them leaves that are so giant and so big. But when that kid goes out into the sunlight, his hand swells up and looks like a humongous blister. And it is. It's a giant blister. It's like almost like a second-degree burn on a person. It's a huge blister that develops because it is photosensitive to the light of the sun. When they're in the shade, they hold that giant hogweed up, they don't get anything. And a couple minutes later, boom, they have this giant blister on this little kid's hand, which is never a good thing for a small child. Some of these things will kill you in minutes. Minutes. Some of these things will kill. I know that a cow ate a plant of water hemlock and died, and it killed a whole cow. That's a big animal. And remember, I had one guy come to me and say, well, if animals can eat it, you can eat it. No, animals can eat other plants that we don't eat because animals' digestive systems are different than ours. And if you go out there and you want to eat that same stuff that they do, it can kill you. You don't want to do that. So these are questions that some of you all have sent me in emails and things like that I've got these different questions, or on Facebook and those kind of things. And I just wanted to touch on that tonight, really. That I want you to be more careful out there, especially now. People are really wanting to go out. They want to cut back on their budget. They want to be able to get some wild edibles and things like that. And just because it looks like something doesn't mean it's something to eat. Um, there are a lot of poisonous plants out there that look good. Years ago, one of my favorite plants that I had in a pot in the house was a Jerusalem cherry tree. If you look up Jerusalem cherry tree, you will find out that is poisonous. But it looks like a little um, tomato, and it doesn't look dangerous at all. But it'll kill you. It'll kill you in a heartbeat. A Jerusalem cherry tree, not good. So, and then there's other things out there that are not true. People say if you eat pokeberries, they'll kill you. You eat too many pokeberries, it'll kill you. There's a lot of things that you can do. Myself, I find that for me, but I've been doing this for many years now, I can eat a few of the pokeberries and not have any effects. But what it does is it stimulates your immune system, starts fighting off that poison that you took, and that will stimulate your immune system so you don't catch colds and things like that. So when the pokeberries come in, I gather up some pokeberries. The other thing is pokeberries are really great for ink. That purple ink makes a great paint, makes a great ink to write with. And some people say that certain documents here in the United States were written with pokeberry. I don't know if that's true or not. I never got into investigating on that. Maybe someday I will, but it never floated my boat, so they say, to do those kind of things. So with these different herbs that you have in your cabinets and these different herbs that you can get out of the yard and things like that, starting to learn that stuff will help you save money in the long run, help you go that way, like chives. Okay, so here's as I said earlier in the thing, here's a field garlic. This is a good sized field garlic. Grows in your yards in the United States, probably grows in other countries too, but like I said, I'm here in Kentucky. So the field garlic is part of the alum family. And in your yard, you cut your grass and you go, I got that patch of onions I ran over. That's what that looks like. It looks like a little tiny onion. But what they do is they get bulblets at the bottom, and it gets bulblets on the top. That's field garlic. Okay? Smells like onions because it's part of the alum family. Looks like an onion till you dig up the bulbs. The only part I don't eat is this little piece in here. That's kind of woodsy, and it gets softer as you go up. But as you go down, you see this gets really hard. It's not good eats, okay? As Alton Brown says, it's not good eats. There you go. So you can use the bulb, crush the bulbs up, grind the bulbs up, and make garlic powder. Cut it up and use it just like garlic, because that's what it is. It's a field garlic. Use the tops to taste like onions. Put them in soups and stews. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to save it in the fridge tonight. I'm going to chop it up, and I'm going to put it on baked potatoes tomorrow. That's what chives. So this grows wild. You could grow this in your yard. You could put it in a container, grow it in your container. So those kind of things you can think about. Totally edible, and it's good for you. It's a garlic. It helps with inflammation. It helps boost your immune system. It's antibacterial. It's antimicrobial. It does all kinds of good stuff for you. Just a garlic. And the same thing can be said with a lot of garlics that you get in the store. You buy a clove of garlic. I don't care if it's the garlic that's in the oil, in the jar. It's garlic. Garlic is a great food for people. Onions are a great food for people. They help with a lot of issues, a lot of things. So flip my chicken again over here. I have butter and garlic and onions and some lime juice in here with my chicken. I'm doing chicken thighs, and I'm slowly cooking those so the flavors get locked in and go into that stuff. I'll take you for a little ride here in the kitchen. Maybe you can see that. I don't know because I'm not looking. Where are you? There you are. There's the chicken. So that's what I'm cooking tonight here in the kitchen. Just kind of doing my thing and talking to you all about the herbs and the herbal schools. So find somebody in herbal schools that has got a good accredited, good people talking about it, stuff like that. Off the top of my head, one I see all the time on Facebook is the Chestnut Herbal School. I've studied some stuff on the Chestnut Herbal School, and they had some free videos they put up. It looks like they really know what they're talking about. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check them out. That's some really interesting things there with those. Um, Ginger ale. Being able to feed yourself, feed your family, doing the herbal stuff, being able to take care of your stuff. I just saw people wanted fire cider in my area. In my area, Kentucky, in Facebook, there was just a post earlier today. Anybody got any fire cider ready? Fire cider is a recipe you can look up on the internet. There's a million recipes for fire cider. It boosts your immune system, keeps you from getting sick and colds. Apparently, there's like 4 or 5 of the family members that are sick right now, and they're willing to pay for fire cider. How much is fire cider? You think about this. You can make some money with fire cider. An 8-ounce jar of fire cider sells for anywhere between $12 and $20 here in the United States. So putting $15 on an 8-ounce jar of fire cider, it sounds like a pretty good bang for the buck. Could you imagine what you could get for like a quart jar? Or a gallon? A gallon would be worth a lot of money. $15 for every 8 ounces. That's a lot of 64 ounces. How many ounces in a 2 liter? How many ounces in a gallon? 190 something? 90 some gallons in a 2 liter? Or I mean in a gallon? That's a lot of fire cider you could be selling right there, my friends. So things I wanted you to think about, things I wanted you to see tonight. Like I said, just kind of blowing off some steam talking here, and maybe we'll do some other talk here later on. I'm going to get back out of here and get this chicken done up, and I just wanted to touch on the school stuff because I've had so many questions about wild edibles and wild medicinals, and I hope you all have a beautiful night. I hope you're all doing wonderful, and I hope you all live a blessed life, and I will catch up with you all later. Let's see if I can get this thing to turn off now.